Good morning, everybody. So I always had this question, or I always had this emotion, because I went to a nutrichange program in Vancouver in 2007, and then last year I went to Europe almost a year ago. I think this two two days 2 days will be 1 year since I left to Europe, and I often get bothered by this feeling that maybe I'm justifying it for my nationality. I'm saying because I'm Mexican, but maybe that's not it. Because the way I am, like, I don't have a lot of money, so it sometimes bothers me the fact that my international friends doesn't understand that, and it doesn't really get to my nerves, but it just kind of get a little bit frustrating. I'm unable to explain um, that my economy is not the best. You know, like I have had the opportunity to travel abroad, but I have worked a lot in order to do that. Like I have been in debt and I have worked a lot to pay my debt. So sometimes my international friends, like every holiday, they will travel to other countries, or they will travel within their state, but within their country, but they will have just like a great vacation, like trailing or ski, or like like just for a wedding going to the Caribbean. And then I cannot even afford an iPhone. An iPhone 4 will be like a lot for me to pay, and then I just like feel like, well, I mean, it's not a justification. I mean, if you really want to, if I really really wanted money, I could migrate to another country, but it sometimes seems difficult, and you also need a lot of money to do that. And for instance, one of my dreams has always been to live in Japan or to visit Japan, but I've never done it. And when I tell to them, it's like, oh, well, why haven't you done? And I always say, I really never answer. I can't remember an answer that I said to that. But I say, I speak Japanese, and it's like, wow, that's like great. And like, so have you been to Japan? I always say no, and they're like, oh, okay. So they can't believe somebody speaks in Japanese and haven't gone to Japan. Of course, because in their countries, in the first world countries, of course, if you want, if to meet to know to a country, just do it, and it's not very difficult because most of people have money. And well, for Mexican standards, traveling to other countries is not easy, and not all the population can do it. Like for instance, if you meet an average Japanese, he at least will know 3 countries, and they will travel maybe to Guam or Hawaii, and maybe one time they travel to the States, to Los Angeles or New York, or with their family, and that's completely normal, and I completely understand it. And I'm not trying to say, you know, they're mean just because of my money, because they're not. They're very nice people. But the thing is that I don't understand why I cannot be. I'm not able to express that. Because how can I say, like, you know what? The reason I haven't gone to Japan is because in my country we earn less money than your country. And it's like, well, we do, but you don't want to say it because in a way it sounds like an excuse. It's like, but if you really wanted to go, you would have already gone, like my therapist said. And I'm like, oh yeah, but the thing is that it's not only about money. There are like other obligations I have. It's not. So, um, well, here I am on vacation, changing subject, which I'm like purpose. So I'm in Querétaro, which is like a colonial place of Mexico. It's very historical, and learning a lot about the churches. I will upload um, videos later about it. Like right now, like, you can see the hotel. There's like a pool, and like the building is right there, like the garden, and so okay, okay. So this is it. do want to go to Japan, if I want to go, I do have to work a lot, and I have to make a plan for years. Like if I want to go, I have to work for like 2 or 3 years, like saving some money. I mean, it's not like using all my money to do that. I have to save some money to do that, or I can get a loan again. But I've never been, I've never been able to think that Japan. I love Japan, but I don't think. Maybe that's mean, or maybe I don't know. But I don't think it's worth it for me to be in debt to go to Japan. Like I could get a debt just today. Just today, I could get it. I could go to the bank right now after this video and get a debt, and I know I would. But I don't think it's worth it. Is it worth it to get a debt to get a car for me? Yes, it is. Was it worth it to go to Canada to get a debt to go to Canada? Yes, it was. Was it worth it to get a debt to go to Europe? Yes, it was. Europe is right. By the way, it opened my eyes. Like it blew my mind. Like I studied Japanese culture so much that I never studied Europe. Like I just leave it apart. I just remember Europe because my teachers was mentioned Igirisu, which means England, or Italiago, which means Italian, or but I will never, or Deutschgin, which means German person. But I will never um, like I will never study Europe. Not anymore. I wouldn't study about like the classical, the Leonardo da Vinci's. I would just stop that. I would just focus on my Japanese, and I wouldn't open my books about Europe or anything like that. I just assumed Europe was too classical. Like everybody wants to go to Europe. I mean, what's exotic about it? But then when I went there and I was astonished by the beautiful architecture. The people is very educated and how many books they read, and how if you can talk to anybody and they know a little bit about your country. And I was surprised. I thought nobody knew my country. Although it's quite popular and quite a cliche. They knew things. So I just decided that I wanted to explore Europe. So I was willing to get in debt for that matter. But am I willing to get in debt to go to Japan? Well, chances are I won't, or chances are I will. I don't really know. Like, sometimes I get frustrated, like, why haven't I gone yet? But the thing is that if I really want to go to Japan, I will go, they say. I will go. But so far, I haven't gone, and I don't know when I'm gonna go. But I do wanted to say that to my international friends, whoever watched this video, it's not that I'm poor, it's just the salary in my countries aren't enough high to go to Japan. So please excuse me if I don't have international holidays every now and then, but I have a national holiday today. Okay, hope you like the video, hope you comment. Au revoir.